Okay, good morning.
Mike, David Moore, Dallas Morning News. Just go ahead and discuss the two defensive line moves you made and the rationale behind making each.
Yeah, definitely. I think our personnel group is doing a great job keeping the roster competitive. I mean, we're in training camp. Your roster player acquisition is always fluid. So I think it's really good for our D-line group. And, obviously we have a new defensive system, and, the expectations and, what we're trying to get done over there is different and what it's done in the past. So it just makes for a more competitive atmosphere, which can't have enough of that.
Can you talk about each individual guy and what they bring? Certainly Phillips and how he works with Mozzie, and then Lawson.
Well, I think the biggest thing is obviously experience. I mean, these guys have played. They got pelts on the wall. They have different skill sets, obviously different positions. So, I mean, just like anything, their experience level will definitely be an asset, but they also have experience in Mike's system. Lawson's played in this system. So, yeah, like I said, it's a new system. I think it definitely brings the competitive, nature way up, and we're excited to have those guys.
Mike, Todd Archer with ESPN. With Phillips, how much did you guys look at last year's game against you guys and what he was able to do as a scouting reporter or anything like that?
Well, he had a sack and he almost picked the ball off. So, I mean, we talked about that today in the quarterback room, obviously. But so, yeah, no, I mean, he's, like I said, he's played a lot of football. We have people that here are familiar with him, and we feel like he's a really good fit.
And, last week after the Rams practice, Dak took a day off. How is he today? Will he be doing everything?
No, he's full go today. Yep.
John Michaud with The Athletic. The Marvian Overshown looked like he pulled himself out of practice yesterday. Do you have any update on him?
Yeah, he had a hip, just hip injury. Doesn't look to be serious, just being smart. So.
What did you think of having Deuce Vaughn back out there and the work he got in?
I thought Deuce looked good. I thought he had some splash plays, but yeah, it's he's obviously missed some time. And also want to get him back out there in the special team phase of it. So yeah, it was great to have Deuce out there.
Calvin Watkins, Dallas Morning News. Damone Clark, what's his status going forward?
Getting better. He won't go today, but he's improving. Yeah.
Albert Huggins got into a little tiff yesterday. Is he still with you guys? What's going on?
Well, I wouldn't say it was a tiff. Obviously, his behavior is unacceptable. I mean, it's something that's been addressed. I mean, he has apologized, and I'm comfortable with his apology. I was obviously on the offensive side of the field when it happened. I had a chance to talk to Mike Zimmer and Sean McVay when it did happen. We removed him from practice, and then frankly, when I actually saw the video a few hours later after the practice, called Sean again. So, and his response to me was, you'd have been proud of the way your coaches and everything reacted. I just want to make sure that behavior is unaccepted. Emotional discipline, that moment, that's not what we're about, and he clearly understands that.
Saad Yusuf, The Athletic. Mike, when you have players like the two that you just discussed on the defensive line, they're kind of older guys. With younger guys, you usually talk about how you felt about them coming out of the draft. Do you still look at the draft process all the way back then, or do you just look at recent games?
I don't. I think the draft process is really important, but it's a starting point. It's a starting point. There's a projection. I think, these guys are past that point where you go back and say, hey, he's a first-round pick. I get annoyed by it, because, when you get past your 4th, 5th, 6th year, I mean, it's, you are who you are. I mean, it's no different if you get on the other side of the spectrum. When this rookie class comes in, this first-round pick's he's going to be first in line. He's going to get the first opportunity and the second-round pick and so forth. But these free agents, you're going to have opportunities too, because at the end of the day, you want to create opportunities for all these players. So, then once they get going, I mean, it's, you get down at a 53 and so forth, especially you get up, 4, 5, 6, 7 years. I mean, it's about what you've done in the league, and that's always been my experience.
After having a chance to look at yesterday's practice, Trayvon's work, and he had the interception at the end, and just, how did you kind of look at his whole body of work yesterday?
I mean, I'll just speak for everybody. It's great to see him back out there. No different to the other three guys. So when they're able to get out there and get in the team periods, and Trayvon just picks. Everything goes to a different level when he's playing. I mean, his passion for practice is unprecedented. I mean, that's when he's at his best. And obviously the way he goes about it on game days, he loves to compete. He's a playmaker. So it's just great to see him out there, rewarded for all the great work that he put into the rehab. Britt Brown was a big part of that too. So that's always a cool moment when you see the guys get back into the team period. So I thought he did a nice job.
Mike, outside of Rico Dowdle and Zeke Elliott, what's your evaluation of the running back room heading into Saturday?
What's the evaluation? I'm having a hard time hearing you.
Room, sorry.
Oh, it's 2BD. I mean, we got some work to do. I mean, and it's more about the opportunities. We need to create opportunities for all those guys. And I think, having Roy Sanduce back out at practice, not now we'll get to, really see that group moving forward, starting Saturday in Vegas. But yeah, we need to get those guys as much opportunity as possible. I thought Malik Davis was clearly having his best camp. Had some opportunities in LA, but yeah, that'll definitely be a focus. I mean, it's like anything. It's we want to see our young guys. As far as the play time, we'll discuss that right after the media press conference is over. But no, I'm just kidding. But we'll do that tonight, and we're thinking the same format as we did last week. So that would also affect what I'm talking about. So all those guys will play in Vegas, and hopefully we can get them some carries.
Nick Harris, DallasCowboys.com. What's the extent of the injury to Earl Bostic?
Earl's actually en route to Dallas, so he's gonna have surgery in the near future. So then we'll have more information after that.
Signed Cole Cabral yesterday. What's kind of your evaluation of the depth at tackle? Do you feel like there might need to be some more there too?
Well, I mean, I think like anything, I'm excited to see Cole work today. So he just showed up and was going through the language transition. So, but yeah, I mean, that's what camp's for. We're kind of in a mixed practice mode today, and what I'm referring to is we'll have we'll have a couple competitive periods for the first group to get after, because I want to get out here and compete in the pads, and then we'll do some carded work getting ready for the Raiders, for the younger guys.
When you have a guy like Phillips, like you said, with all the experience, do you still see the need to see him in these preseason games?
I'm sorry, what's the first part?
So Phillips, you talked about the experience that he brings. Yeah. So with 2 preseason games left in the schedule, do you see the need to have him out there?
I'll be honest with you. I think we need to get let's get him acclimated to what we're doing and so forth. And what's nice, he's been in the camp, so I'm not concerned about that. But yeah, I want to see these guys work first.
Dan Greenspan, Associate Press. Mike, this is the first season in college football they're allowing in-helmet communication. Just as a coach, how do you go about developing that skill of being confident and relaying things on the mic?
Well, it's transition, number one. I was in the league, was that 93 or 94 when it came in. I want to say it was 94, but so you're used to signaling, and you've done it for a long time, 0, 1, 2, 3. So I got you there, babe. But you have those mechanisms. So for the quarterback, it's brand new, and my experience is some guys, they want a lot of information. Some guys want as little as possible. Like Rich Gannon, you couldn't get off quick enough. Brett Favre, you could talk to him all the way down to 15 seconds. So I mean, just certain guys have different. So that's what I found was the biggest transition, going from signals to the helmet speaker, because it's different because it's in their helmet. I think I always, in my experience, it's really personal preference of the quarterback how much information he wants. Some guys want you talking to him the whole time. Some guys want to get the information, and because in the old days when you signaled the plays, they had to memorize the formations. So now with the helmet, you can give them the formation and the play and the coaching pointer too. So so it's a whole different operation. But I do remember the transition, and every guy was a little different.
Did anybody reach out to you or your staff this offseason to try and get from the college ranks?
No, they have not. I didn't even realize they were doing it, frankly.
Michelle Montaigne, WFAA coach. What do you need to see out of Trey Lance on Saturday?
Just take another step, in the efficiency. I thought, he got the first part going. And as far as the drives, I mean, had a number. I don't know how many 7+ drives in a game. I think I had 10+ drives in a game. So, the operation component, I thought we got off to a good start. So just getting more in tune with the receivers. I thought he saw the game as far as the scheme, what we were doing to attack the coverage. So I thought he saw it cleanly. So we just got to get the execution up. But I thought he got off to a good start.
Getting back to Larson, you brought him in a few weeks ago, part of the workout group. You didn't sign him. You chose to sign Chaka. What's happened since then, as far as Tony, besides Tony getting hurt? And as far as his health is concerned, he only played 6 games last year. Where is he? Yeah,
definitely. I mean, not to get into specifics of it, and obviously he can speak on it more than I will, but I mean, it's just like anything. I mean, there's a business component to every transaction and every opportunity, and timing always plays into that. So, So I mean, obviously we had interest. He has interest. There's a connection, and frankly, I'm excited that we finally got it done.
Mike, with Zeke, whether he plays in the preseason or not, what have you seen out here to say he still has juice left to be a quality back?
Oh, I think, there's never a question about him having juice. I mean, number one, his understanding of the position of the offense. Zeke's a very instinctive, intelligent football player. So, and the other part that I'm excited to have him back is, he's a natural, he's a natural leader through, the type of teammate he is. Zeke is a huge asset in the locker room. So, but yeah, as far as the playing part of it, yeah, it's just, he's up there. You got to be smart. And I mean, he's up there as far as number of attempts. He's run the football a lot in his career. So we're very conscientious of that for how much work he gets. But also we got to make sure he gets enough to make sure he feels like he's ready too. So that's why we talk about the rep counts every day. It's a nightly conversation as a coaching staff. We look at the GPS. We have all the information and tools at our expense, and obviously we communicate with our players, about that. So that's why you'll see maybe 2 players today that won't maybe practice as much as the other guys, just because of the amount of work they did yesterday. So that's a daily conversation, and I think if anything we could probably give Zeke a little more, because I think we've been smart with him to this point. And this is a week where you have to be really organized, this week and next week, because you really got 2 components going on, because you got a group that you're getting ready to play a game, but you're also, we got some install cleanup things we were doing offensively, and Mike's going back through some concepts that he wants to hit. So I mean, it's the beauty of training camp. This is our purest football opportunity, and we're just trying to take advantage of it.
Yeah, a quick logistical clarification and a question on Phillips and Lawson, as far as them reporting here and working in. What's your general schedule for them?
Yeah, they arrived this afternoon, so I haven't seen them yet. Cole's here. He was in a meeting this morning, so I know they're traveling today. So.
And then the question is, I think Micah questioned your running back authority to critique
my running back authority
style. Yeah, so have you ever run the ball at any level to critique Micah on his
well style? I mean, first off, I think it's important. I know you won't tell Micah that I said this, but he could probably run the ball in our league. I mean, I don't know if you guys have seen his high school tapes, but we actually had him in the Paul Gunther had him in the individual meetings last week. They were showing him. So he can run the football. I was that guy that played tight end and linebacker, was trying to get the coach to let me run the ball. So I know where he's coming from. So, and it didn't go well. And the reason why it didn't go well for Micah, because if Micah Parsons got hurt running the ball in practice, I just would walk out the front gate and keep walking. So, yeah, he's obviously a special, gifted young man. So. But I'm not giving him the ball, not because that he can't. It's just I think it's good business. So he can do it. And if he wants to talk to Jerry when he's 30? Okay, we'll deal with it then. Yeah, we were laughing about it yesterday. So.
Mike Ducey, Fox 4. Speaking of athleticism, when you look at what Trey Lance can do you ever think about how he could maybe help a football team in a position other than quarterback?
I have not. I mean, I do. I do see your point, and it's obviously a compliment to his athletic ability. But no, I mean, Trey, in my eyes, Trey's a quarterback. I think he's he's just young in the area of attempts. I mean, just you look at his history, and and I think that we talked about this I think a couple days ago, the statistic of 1,300. I think that's something that is a pretty good statistical barometer to look at. Some of the guys have had success coming from college to pro football. So, but I love the kid. I love the way he works. He's got a lot of ability. We just got to keep working. So, and he's a quarterback in my view.
All right,
thank you.
Thanks.